Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to a brand new episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. We've made it to another Friday, so it's time to do a little overview and recap of the gaming that I did this week, share my thoughts with you and whether I think you guys should check them out or not. You guys know I'm always interested in your opinion as well, so if you played any of the games I shared with you this week, let me know what you thought of them. Always enjoy hearing about games you guys are playing because that gives me ideas of games that I might want to check out. And if you guys have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy, please let me know. I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. I've got one game to share with you guys this week, and this was actually a suggestion from one of my good friends here on YouTube, Carl. You guys should know him as Let's Collect Video Games. Really good dude. He talked about playing this game a few months ago, and he really enjoyed it and knew that I enjoyed playing the first game in this series and told me I need to play the sequel, and that was Outcast: A New Beginning for the Series X. It is a 9th gen exclusive, was also released on PlayStation 5 and PC, but it is not on 8th gen consoles, so you do need a 9th gen console to play it. This game has wonderful graphics, it's got amazing music, great voice acting, and just overall a wonderful sequel to the original Outcast game, which I have here, Outcast Second Contact. Now, I played through and beat this game last year and had an absolute blast with it. It was really fun because this was a re-released version of the old 1999 version that was released on the PC back in the day. And I had a lot of fun with this, beat it, really enjoyed it. And I knew I wanted to eventually play the sequel, so I did buy it. My buddy Carl told me, like, you gotta play it, it's really fun, it's awesome, and it's a wonderful follow-up to that original game, and I really like it. So you play as Cutter Slade again, and he returns to the world of Adelpha, where it has those Talon creatures that you're trying to help. And in the first game, you rescued him from being oppressed. Well, in the second one, their world has now been invaded by robots that are taking over and trying to enslave them, and so now you have to help them. But Cutter Slade has memory problems, so he doesn't really remember helping them in the beginning in the first game, because this game takes place 20 years after the first one. So I'll read you from the back. Explore the breathtaking alien world of Adelpha. Support the local Talons in their struggles and fight your way through fast-paced battles against invading robot forces in this third-person open-world action-adventure sequel to the 1999 cult classic. To save Adelpha, you'll use your jetpack to jump, air dash, glide, and quickly traverse the fantastic in-game open world. So what's really cool is in the first game, he did not have a jetpack. In this second one, you have a jetpack, and you're able to use that to get up to different areas, and pretty much the whole map is open to your desire. You can go wherever you want. There's tons of main quests to go through, side quests. Just a fantastic sequel, and it's so much larger than the original game. So let's check out Outcast: A New Beginning. Alright guys, today we're playing Outcast: A New Beginning. Now this is a sequel to that really cool Outcast game that was released on PC back in 1999, and then they did release a updated port of it called Outcast Second Contact for the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I actually played through and beat that game last year and really loved it, and I found out that there was a sequel coming out last year, and so I did buy it and add it to my collection, but I have not played it yet. And my good buddy Let's Collect Video Games here on YouTube, he played it earlier this year and told me that he loved it and it was fantastic, and he knew that I would really enjoy it, you know, especially since I played the first one and loved it. And so I decided, let's just finally play this one because I wanted to check it out. All the gameplay I've seen has been nothing but good things about it, and hearing my buddy say it was awesome, I knew I had to play it for myself. And it's been a few months shy of a year, probably 10 months since I played the first one, and so I'm definitely ready to check it out. So let's get it started here. The game does have beautiful graphics here in 4K on my 4K TV, because this is an Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 exclusive, so it is a 9th gen only. You know, they didn't release any 8th gen ports for it, and it definitely shows in the music, the visuals, and everything. So let's get it loaded up here. And it has really good, decent loading time for these giant open world third-person action RPGs. just look how amazing the world looks here. There's a variety of locations too, these big grassy areas. There's desert, there's snow and fire and lava. So there's a huge variety of locales for you to explore, but the world looks absolutely beautiful. You can see the detail of individual pieces of grass. You can see little weeds and stuff. It's just amazing, the visuals in gaming that you get, 9th gen and stuff, compared to what we got back in the day, like in 99 when I played this original version of the first game back in 99. Was very ambitious for the time, but look, obviously nothing like this, but just absolutely gorgeous, beautiful worlds. Very cool stuff. I'll show you guys here the map, which is pretty decent size, so everything that's highlighted, like I've been through most of this area, and you have a variety of the main story missions to go through, but just like with the first game, you have tons of side missions for you to go through. Now what's cool is the icons turn gray once you've defeated an area. If it's not gray and it's still got a highlight color on it, it means you haven't completed it yet. So like this one is red, I still have to go through that. And then there's side challenges, things for you to do as well, which is cool. And you have a decent map size. You also have these Dauka, the little warp gates, just like in the original games. You can use them to warp around the map, and you actually have to unlock it because they've all been shut down due to the story. And the game takes place 20 years after the original game, and so you come back to this alien world as Cutter Slade again. It does have a new voice actor, and it's actually the same voice actor that voiced James Sutherland in the Silent Hill 2 remake, which I just noticed, so that's pretty cool. So you have a lot of things for you to upgrade for his abilities and stuff. You also have a variety of weapons again, so you have a pistol that I had at the start, and I recently just got a rifle, but then there's also attachments that you can find to augment the weapon, make it stronger, unlock new abilities for it. I'm sure there's other weapons probably in the game. You just have a inventory system that keeps track of your consumables. You got different resources. You have key items, core. So this is all like the tech parts that you have for Slater, and then you can have Birds for All. You have your RPG stuff here where you can upgrade his jetpack, because you do have a jetpack, which is great. And then you also have your combat stuff. So it doesn't have like the most in-depth RPG elements, but you have real basic things here for that. You have a glossary area, database, keeps track of like the animals and creatures you find, gives you information about them, different characters you run into. It gives you all that information, diaries when you find things like that. And then you have glossary that tells you about terms that you may hear different characters in the world talking about, and you might be lost as to what the hell's going on. Then you have that. All your resources are up on the top there. And then you have your different options here, your field of view, camera sensitivity, you can invert stuff. And then you have 4 save slots and 4 auto save slots, which is cool. But what I really love is having this jetpack, but you also have a glider. Another thing I really like is that when you find items out in the world, they'll have a little display above them so you know that that's an item you can pick up, and so you don't miss things, which I like. Great visuals, you know, the visual cue for you to see something so you don't miss it. And also, another cool feature they didn't have in the first game is the ability to glide. So I'm going to glide over this city.
Got a lot of water now.
Molokai, having trouble activating Vita's Master Dauka? We need it up and running as soon as possible. I'm marking a location on your map. You can see the outpost from the village. The core has to be stashed there.
I trust your instincts, Liaz. I'll check it out.
And I love too how when you just might walk into a new area, like I just discovered this village and I already have a new quest set up. You can also fly around with your jetpack on the ground as well, and over water. And all enemies will be shown on the mini-map as red dots. You also have the scan ability, which you can use, and it'll highlight important characters. There's merchants for you, there'll be quest givers, important people for the story, all kinds of really cool stuff. So again, like I said, you're playing as that Cutter Slade guy, and you return to the world of Adelpha with the Talons. That's these little creature guys here. And you were their savior. You saved them in the first game, and you left. And you thought, everything's going to be great. Well, you now return 20 years later. Your character's memory has been messed up, so you don't even remember what you did here. And they've been recently invaded by this robotic force led by humans who know you, but you don't know who they are. So I don't want to really get any more into like the story, because the whole idea of playing the game is to uncover the story and stuff. But that's the basic idea of the story. And so now you're trying to free these people again from being enslaved. It's not the most original story. I mean, it's kind of like, you've seen this story in Avatar before. You saw it in the first game. I mean, it's pretty much taken from our human history, where people have conquered other people and stolen their lands and enslaved them. So, not the most original story, but still one that's really fun, and I've really been enjoying it. It does have decent voice acting as well.
Hi there. Got some questions.
Yes?
And you have a little wheel which you can use to ask different questions to them, and all the characters are voiced.
Do you know anything about Dasan?
Dasan is a village in the far northeast, in the hostile region of Sar. It's built on the top of stone pillars that are rich in helidium. From what I hear, there's a massive invader presence there.
Do you know anything about Procreana?
Procreana was the capital of Adelpha, and its most important center of knowledge, famous for its scholars, recreators, and researchers. But that's in the past. It was attacked by the invaders many moons ago, and most citizens ran away, fearing further reprisals. It's located in the northwest of Gansar.
And so if you see it highlight is in gray now, that means that he's told you everything on the subject, but if you forgot, you can always ask him again.
What can you tell me about Morags?
They're expensive fruits with a sweet flavor. The only place to find them is in Mia.
Do you know anything about Kizar?
The Amael and the females are the highest caste in Talan society. They live in Kizar, an island from where they used to rule and protect the children.
They used to. How about now?
Kizar is completely isolated from the rest of Adelpha, and the Almayal don't communicate with our leaders anymore. The Shamases are the only males allowed in the city outside of the August celebration. But even a Shamas must be summoned by the Almayal before he can visit. Since the spear arose, no one gets in or out of Kizar.
See you around.
Come back anytime.
And what's also cool too is not every quest is like immediately known what you gotta do. Sometimes you gotta talk to people, get clues. That's what I really like about the first game, and I like about this one is you actually sometimes have to talk to people to get clues on where to go. It doesn't always just say, hey, go to point A and here's how you complete the quest. Sometimes you gotta talk to villagers, get someone to give you information, and you may discover different side quests along the way. And what's cool too is it'll actually tell you when you're talking to somebody if you've unlocked new dialogue options. It'll have a little hint that says new dialogue options opened up. You might talk to them about one subject, and now they know stuff about a different subject. You can then ask them and help you with different kinds of quests. And the last thing I want to show you guys is combat. So let's go... There we go. Let's go there and free that crystal. So I'm going to just pause it real quick and get to there so that I can show you guys the combat. Alright, there's this enemy structure there. We can use this little jumping platform to get up there. So all those red dots are enemies. Now we just gotta find our way in here. And what's cool too, using that scan ability, anything green are containers that may contain useful gadgets and items. So it's always important to make sure you scan all the time. Let's get our weapons ready. And you do have to find ammo with his red crystals and green crystals you'll see growing around the world. You also get them from killing enemies. So let's get some more ammo real quick. Because you can also melee. You also have a shield you can bring out that you can upgrade and use that to block, to take fire and stuff, and take blasts and stuff while you're fighting enemies. Let's get some more ammo here. Here we go. There's melee enemies, but there's also enemies with that have guns and stuff. A lot of robots, but there's also humans to fight as well. You also get upgrade crystals, those nano cells. Now what I like too is you can hold the left trigger and you can actually zoom in and aim, which is great. And there's one of those crates that'll contain something. Ooh, some upgrade stuff. Nice. You just never know. These outposts are key to take out. One, for the story, but two, you also want to take them out because they're loaded with upgrades that are valuable. So you definitely need to take these out. I think he glitched, maybe. I've noticed some random glitches and stuff. I've had an enemy that was like half in the floor and stuff, so you may encounter some glitches things in this game, but it doesn't take away from the enjoyment or anything.
Move it, Footy, they're coming.
And then you do have to find these fruit to heal. My health is kind of low up there, you can see. So you do got to be careful. You know, you can't just go in non-stop shooting and guns blazing or anything. You know, you do have to be careful and take your time because you don't want to die. If you do die, you'll respawn, but you'll have to redo the area. Now, there's one warning I want to give you, though. Make sure when you save that you don't save like in an area like here, where enemies are. Even if you kill them all and you beat the area and it turns gray, if you turn off the game and load back in, all the enemies respawn, and so you'll have to fight your way out. So be careful where you save. Make sure it's outside of enemies area where enemies are at, because you don't want to have to start the game and be spawned in that area. But definitely a game I think you guys should check out. If you like the original Outcast, you definitely should check out the sequel. Alright friends, so that was our look at Outcast: The New Beginning. I've been having a lot of fun with this. I have about 30 hours in now between the last couple of weeks of playing this, and I've got very far in the story. It's great that there's a lot of main story stuff to go through. There's side quests for you to do. I love the RPG elements, so everything is not unlocked at the beginning. You only have a handgun, but eventually you get a rifle weapon. And now what's cool is you can actually find parts for the rifle and the handgun, and you can upgrade those guns to make them stronger, you know, have more bullets, do more damage. And then sometimes, you know, you have to trade off like loading speed for damage. You know, there's all kinds of different mods you can do to it. You also level up Cutter himself and get him new abilities, which is great. And then you also can upgrade his jetpack so that it can make you get to higher places, to make you move faster. And it's just a really fun world. Really enjoy the music. It's absolutely great. The world is beautiful. Playing on my 4K TV on my Series X, I mean, the world is just absolutely beautiful. It's just stunning. how much detail is in the environments. I mean, it's really awesome how far we've come with graphics when it comes to terrain and stuff. You know, playing the games, you know, when that original one came out like 26 years ago, you know, there was very primitive graphics obviously at the time. Now it's crazy. You'll be walking through forests and you can see little individual blades of grass. The wind is making a move. Just really fantastic. There's a variety of locations to go through though. You have a snowy region, you got desert, you got the lava area, you have the foresty areas, water. It's just a really great game. I've been having a lot of fun with the story, and it's a wonderful follow-up to that original Outcast Second Contact. I highly recommend playing both of them, but before you play this sequel, make sure you play and beat this original version first, so you'll know all the story and stuff when you go play through the sequel, because this is a sequel to the first one. So for the overall story, I recommend start with the first one and then go to the second one. So have you guys played either of these two games in the Outcast series? I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on them. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm looking forward to beating that one. Let me know, guys, too. What have you guys been playing lately? I always enjoy hearing about games you guys are playing. And if you guys have a recommendation of a game you think I might enjoy, let me know. I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see you next time.